Hey everyone, welcome back to the office, back to the home cycle news office. Doing this one from inside the house today. Last couple of weeks, we've been ripping around on the Triumph Daytona Moto2 765 limited edition. Yeah, so it's a bit of a mouthful, that one. It's kind of hard to remember. But yeah, this is the new Triumph Supersport bike, I guess you could say. Triumph have always had the 675 as their Supersport bike. But now with their inclusion as the Moto2 control engine supplier, that means that now we get this bike. And coincidentally, this bike is actually going to be running in the British Supersport Championship this year, which is kind of signalling a bit of a change of the guard as far as Supersport bikes go. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun on this one. This is a really cool bike. So you've got 128 horsepower out of this 765cc inline 3, which sounds beautiful. And we weighed the thing at 409 pounds, full to the brim with a tank of gas. So yeah, it's pretty bang on the money for good times as far as sports motorcycles goes. $17,500 here in the United States. And with that, because it's limited edition, you get 765 units are going to be there for the North American market, so America and Canada. And there's going to be 765 units for the rest of the world. Now, what do you get for your 17.5 grand? Well, you get a pretty special bike, got to say. You get carbon fiber for days. It is just beautiful. It's everywhere. You get this beautiful single seat. So no pillions, no passengers. You're not buying a passenger. Not going to get a passenger on the back of your race bike, so you ain't getting one on your Daytona. Carbon fiber seat, beautiful carbon fiber fairing with the Union Jack on either side. Very traditional looking Daytona with the headlight and all that. It's a pretty unmistakable look, really. And then you get into the carbon fiber behind the light and sort of in the cockpit area that flanks the dash as well. So look, a really neat job done by Triumph. It's a beautiful bike to look at. Mechanically too, you've got very top-notch stuff. You've got NIX 30 forks from Öhlins, you've got TTX 36 shock. You got this fantastic quick shifter on the gearbox. Now I'm going to put my neck out there and say that that's the best road production gearbox I've tried probably in the last couple of years, and that includes bikes like the Superleggera, the $100,000 Superleggera, which is more than five times the price of this thing. It is a fantastic gearbox. It's close ratio, nice short throw, so you just bang through the gearbox. It's like pulling the butter knife out, just smearing them. Beautiful. On top of that, you've also got this excellent engine. 128 horsepower out of the inline 3. You've got 5 modes, so you've got rain, road, rider configurable, sport and track. Obviously rider configurable, you can figure that one out for yourself. You can preset all the bits and pieces that you want. Unfortunately, the TC doesn't come with like the TC and the wheelie control are linked. I've never been a fan of those systems. I always prefer them to be separated. It's pretty unintrusive on the street, to be honest, and I've got to tell you right now, I only ever rode this thing on the street. I have not done a track day, which bit of a bummer really, but we just couldn't get to it. We tried to sort of focus on the majority of riding that these bikes are going to do. So the TC and the wheelie control linked. Obviously you got ABS and all that stuff on top of it. You don't get a lot of creature comforts with it. You don't get heated grips. You don't get cruise control. Yeah, I kind of like cruise control for a $17,000 bike. I don't really care whether it's a race bike or not, or a race bike for the road. It would be nice to have something like that just to give that little premium touch. But other than that, it's like the engine performance is just fantastic. Like that throttle connection is so smooth. 3-cylinder motors have come a long way in terms of how nice you can just screw that throttle on. They used to be really clunky and harsh, but they're not like that anymore. They're really good. Two of my absolute favorite features on this bike. One is that Arrow exhaust. I reckon that's the best looking production exhaust you can get right now. It's just this beautiful, smooth, long trumpet looking thing. And the best thing is that Triumph have managed to get it through noise restrictions without killing the noise too much. You still get a really nice level of song from that 3-cylinder motor. But it's not going to piss off too many people, hopefully. It looks fantastic. It's made it to a very big catalytic converter under there as well. So like if you're gonna go racing, you get rid of that. That's going to save you a lot of weight. But the other thing I love as much as the exhaust are the brakes. The brakes are Brembo Stylema calipers, nothing fancy there, but they've made it to an MCS Brembo master cylinder, which just has this beautiful feel. Like you just trail the thing in and it just doesn't bite aggressively, but conversely has enough bite to, you know, when you pull it in, that's like when you get those racing master cylinders, what you ask for, you get. So the braking performance is excellent. The fluidity and how the thing corners is just so good. You know, you get a little bit of heat in those Pirelli Supercorsa SPs that it comes with as standard, so really good rubber it comes with as standard, and off you go. Just screw her in, plow it into corners. You can be pretty aggressive on that bike too. It is set up for sports riding, so you can get out there and really give it some nuts, and you know, get a bit sort of not ham-fisted, but you can be pretty brutal on the thing, and it just keeps coming back for more. It's a race bike for the road, so pretty hard to ignore that. Triumph for a couple of years now really has been a bit of a leader in terms of the dash and the interface, you know, the user experience, I guess, of the interface. Everything is done by a little joystick on the left side, and you have your mode button on the right. So they are separated, whereas a lot of manufacturers will sit there and try and smash them all into one little area on the bike, and it makes it really hard to figure out what does what. If you just wanted to change your modes from like sport to configurable or track or whatever, you can press the button on the right hand side, but if you want to go and do other stuff, you do it via the joystick on the left. Makes it really easy to use. The dashes themselves are really cool. They've got a bunch of different faces, you can do different layouts and that kind of stuff, so that's really cool. I mean, it's not much more than what a bunch of other manufacturers have got. It's just done really nicely, and it's executed better, I feel, than a lot of the other guys out there. So yeah, Triumph's done a good job on that. They should be really commended for it. In total, really, they should be commended for the bike itself. Like, it's a beautiful bike. It's a bit of a toy, be honest. You know, single seat, that's a toy. But it's a bloody nice toy. I'd like to have it. Great slipper clutch as well. That's another thing. The slipper clutch on downshift is just, it pulls you into corners. There's no chattering from the rear wheel. Another thing before I forget, one area that's really nice is the top triple clamp. Like the finish on the top triple clamp, where you get your number of what bike you've got out of the 765 units in North America. The finish on that top triple clamp is beautiful. I'd like to hang it on my wall. It's really nice. So yeah, that's just not a little detail, but all in all, for $17,500, you're going to get a pretty special bike, and limited edition, rightly so, it will become a collector's, I think. I'm going to say pretty confidently, I think they will become collectors. Really, really nice things. And these are the Supersport bikes of the future. You know, the 600s are pretty much gone. They'll be hanging around for a couple of years, but 765s, Panigale V2s, things like that, they're our new Supersport bikes. So, you know, long live the Supersport. But I can't wait to get on some of the other ones that come in the next few years. They're going to be great. Anyway, guys, that's it. If you like this video, please give us one of these ones. Hopefully it's not one of these ones, but you know, that's up to you guys. Like, share, subscribe, comments down below. Any comments, any questions, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for joining me in the office once again. We'll be doing them from out on the road pretty soon. So yeah, all good, guys, but keep it rubber side down, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.